Wednesday night, the Flyers paid a classy tribute to an old friend. And they went out and bested the playoff-bound Blackhawks. The Flyers once again saved their best hockey for one of the NHL's top teams in a convincing win. But the impressive victory did come at a cost. Injuries and illness have left several regulars unavailable today. The Flyers welcome the San Jose Sharks to town as they face a Western opponent for the last time this season. The promotion is Kids Day at the Wells Fargo Center this afternoon, so there will be a lot of youngsters in attendance. And the team on the ice, well, they took it literally, as there will be several call-ups from the Phantoms getting a chance to play due to injury and illness to the regular Flyers. It's the Flyers and the San Jose Sharks, their second and final meeting of the season. And a pleasant good afternoon. Welcome to Flyers Hockey on Comcast Sportsnet along with Bill Clement. I'm Jim Jackson. Chris Therien will join us a little bit later on. And Bill, for the Flyers, another impressive win against a very good team the other night as they beat the Chicago Blackhawks. But as we mentioned in the open, it came at a cost. Some injuries to some key Flyers, and so a lot of players leaving the lineup and some other ones coming in.
Well, the Flyers down the stretch committed to playing with pride, and they have done that. They've put themselves into dangerous situations, and as a result, the Flyers, we knew this a couple days ago, would be without Wayne Simmonds with a fractured left leg and Andrew McDonald with a fractured right hand. We knew about that, but the two guys on the right part of your screen are brand new to this list because Mark Streit and Carlo Colaiacovo are both out with the flu.
Their misfortune, perhaps an opportunity for these players, as these four have all been called up from Lehigh Valley. Not sure yet whether Jason Atkinson will play, but the three defensemen are all in, and Alt will make his NHL debut. Another player we know is in for the Flyers here this afternoon. He's been in all year, and he's been on all year, is Jake Voracek, and he still has plenty to play for here down the stretch.
He absolutely does, and he has put together a brilliant season. If you're talking about the guys that have played with the most energy on the Flyers team this season, I don't think anybody game in and game out has played with more energy than Jake Voracek, and as a result, he's still in position to win the NHL scoring title. He's got 7 games left. Crosby's got 8. Tavares got 7. It is wide open, and Jake has a chance to win the Art Ross.
While some have scoring titles as a goal down the stretch, Ryan White is hoping to continue impressing with his play to get a contract for next year. He's been a physical force as expected, and he's chipped in a career-high 5 goals and 1 in each of the Flyers' last 2 games. Impressive indeed. Today's Flyers-Sharks game is brought to you by Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far. By Toyota. Toyota's One for Everyone sales event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. And by Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. The national anthem and the start of today's game after these messages. Today's first period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Mazda. Mazda is KBB.com's lowest cost-to-own brand over 5 years. And by Papa John's. The day after the Flyers win and score 3 or more goals, get 50% off your online order using promo code FLYERS at papajohns.com.
This time we honor our country, those here and abroad who are protecting and defending our nation. As we welcome to the ice, escorted by United States Army Cadet Alex Vlasov, the #1 ranked anthemist in the NHL, our very own Lauren Hart, as she sings the Star Spangled Banner.
The twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes
national anthem, and now it's time for hockey here in South Philadelphia. The Flyers and the Sharks for second and final meeting. Sharks beat the Flyers in San Jose, and a goal with 11.5 seconds remaining in the third period by Matt Nieto back in December.
Let's take a look at our Kia starting goaltenders for the San Jose Sharks. Alex Stalock in goal, the St. Paul, Minnesota native, 27 years old, and his second year as a backup in San Jose. And for the Flyers, Steve Mason has played in 12 of the last 14 games for the Flyers, make that 13 of 15 with the start today.
Been absolutely tremendous on home ice, especially. He's 6th in the NHL in save percentage overall, 8th in goals against. For Stalock, only his 18th game this season, his first since early in March, as Anthony Niemi had been getting the bulk of the playing time for the Sharks, but it's now Stalock. Both of these teams still mathematically alive in terms of playoff aspirations, but both severe long shots at the same time. Sharks 9 points back, Flyers in the same boat, well back in the East. So they are playing mostly to try to finish off this season in style. And for the Flyers, a lot of newcomers still on it. There's an early icing just 7 seconds in. Flyers wearing their alternate jerseys here today, and the white jerseys for the Sharks. But for the Flyers, illness in addition to injury. They've added to call-ups. Lordson on the left, Mark Galt, number 39 on the right, up from Lehigh Valley to play in this game. Brandon Manning is also here, and so for the Flyers, sort of a Phantoms-like look to their defense corps.
You can see Alt and Lawrenson talking things over before their first shift. They will play together as a pair on the blue line.
Nick Grossman to the puck for Philadelphia, wind it into the Sharks zone. Joe Thornton is there. Brent Burns back on defense this year, having a big year offensively. Clears it all the way down. Another icing against San Jose. 2 already here in just 25 seconds of action. Here are the scratches. We need a couple of columns for the Flyers, as they obviously have a lot of injuries. Simmons and McDonald done for the year. Luke Schenn still out with a lower body injury. Umberger also done for the year. Atkinson was called up today in case, and he will not play. The other 3 out as well. 2 of them due to the flu, which I think gripped this team late on that long road trip through Canada. Caught the broadcasters a little bit as well, as the puck is covered up by Stalock, and he will get the whistle as we look at the injuries from the game on Wednesday.
This was against the Blackhawks, and Andrew McDonald giving it up with his right hand. And in front of the goal on offense, Wayne Simmons giving up his body. Actually, it looked like he was trying to get out of the way, but broken left leg, fractured left leg for Simmons, and a fractured right hand for Andrew McDonald.
So many of the injuries in the NHL these days are caused by blocking shots, or in Simmons' case, getting hit by a shot. A third icing against San Jose gives us the opportunity to go inside the glass for the first time this afternoon. There's Chris Therien.
Thanks very much, Jimmy. You know, when you look at Philadelphia this year, one guy that's made incredible strides from the time he was injured last year to the way he's playing right now is Ryan White. This guy has done an awful lot for the Philadelphia Flyers since coming back off the injury, guys. A pretty valuable player. Plays hard, he fights, he can shoot, he can make plays. And I'll tell you what, he's going to be a heck of a depth guy for the Flyers moving forward. He's had a great year and minimal time played.
He's impressed everyone. They expected the physical aspect of his game, but he's intelligent with the puck. His playmaking has been more than I think they expected, and win some faceoffs for you. There's a lot of things to help a hockey team win some games. Sharks get the puck here, and Patrick Marleau, the veteran, will send it to the corner. Good there. Couture now back behind the net. Couture taking down penalty. Delayed call against Philadelphia. Justin Braun to the puck for San Jose. Waiting is the extra attacker now Alpha Del Zotto getting to the puck along with Schultz. There's the whistle. And so the Sharks will get the game's first power play, tripping the call. Dean Morton making that call. Dave Jackson is your other referee here today.
Well, this is the matchup that Greg Berube wants. He wants Nick Schultz out there, especially when Logan Couture is there for the San Jose Sharks. Big Joe Thornton will draw the matchup.
It's a tough play right there for Schultz, being a former defenseman. You know, you're trying to get your stick on the puck, and instead a good skill player like Couture with good speeds there ends up tripping over your stick when you're trying to make a play on the puck.
These teams similar in a lot of ways, and one of them is that they both have good power plays and struggle on the penalty kill. The Sharks' sixth best power play. The Flyers second from the bottom on the kill. This was Vandevelde to Pierre-Edouard Bellemare. The play is offside at the Sharks line.
Yeah, the seasons really have kind of mirrored one another. The rankings that you talked about, Jimmy, the power play and the penalty kill, defense as well. San Jose comes in ranked 24th in the league. Todd McClellan's troops, the Flyers, are 23rd. I don't know what kind of game plan Todd McClellan has for the Flyers, but I'm sitting here scratching my head. It looked like the Sharks iced the puck intentionally 3 or 4 times. They tried to a 4th time, and it went on Mason.
Yeah, you're right, Phil.
Strange.
Same with Brent Burns. He shot one down for no reason. I wonder if there's any method to that madness. Because he passes to nobody. He looked like he intentionally iced it. You're right.
This time he gets it to Couture, who sends it through the slot. Joe Pavelski was one of the top power play performers in the NHL and has been for 5 years. And one of the main reasons he drives the net. Here's the play in front. Getting a stick on that was Mason, and then the Flyers clear it all the way down. Vanderbilt got out of the zone, and it went off a stick. So as Stalock plays the puck, the whistle blows, and the face-off will take place.
San Jose Sharks have had a season of a lot of backwards as well, guys, and I think a lot of it started last year being up 3-0 on LA, and things have gone considerably backwards for San Jose through the course of the year and last summer for sure. Captain loses his seed, Joe Thornton, controversy all year, so they've gone through their trials and tribulations as well.
Well, they are not used to being in this position. 10 consecutive years as playoff team, these Sharks. And again, they're not mathematically out this year, but it is looking as though they will miss the playoffs for the first time in a decade. As the Sharks get the puck deep into the Philadelphia zone, Delzato fan on his first attempt, but then steers it to Lauritsen, and Lauritsen will hammer it off the boards, but not out of the zone. Kept in and rolled wide of the net by Matt Irwin. Martin Goodrow after it along the boards, but it's Sean Couturier instead, and he'll bounce it across ice and out. The Flyers will get some fresh legs on the ice with 42 seconds remaining on the San Jose power play. Edward Vlasic circles his own net, waiting for Sharks change to complete. And now the Sharks move up. Pavelski, Couture, now Marleau right back to Couture. And out it goes to Burns for a shot that goes wide. Off the Karen, they try to get it in front. Grossman blocked it, and then it sat in the blue paint. Chad Frears, Marleau turning and firing wide on the short side. Out to Couture. We go across ice to Burns. This pass tipped by Raffl. Raffl now after the puck, it bounces free up the wall. White trying to clear, but Burns will get there first. Across to Couture. And he'll flip one that's batted away by Manning, and he'll clear it all the way down. Broken stick there for Couture as he tried to get that one through. The power play is over. Flyers back to full strength as we remain scoreless. The Sharks here in Philadelphia, where they've had plenty of success. They've won 6 in a row here. Haven't lost in Philadelphia since back in December of 2000 as they iced the puck again.
Be the 4th one, and this wraparound came oh so close, if not for the stick of Nick Grossman. Good read right there.
Yeah, protecting that near side post on the wraparound. That's a good play by Grossman. Excellent stick. You can see it touching the post right as the Marleau wraparound attempt was being made. Good job.
And now he's going to go over some strategy with Ian LaPerriere. Amazing is that puck didn't hit Nick after he blocked it and bounced off of him and go into the net. But avoided with 5-hole on him and stayed out of the cage. Here's Vinny Lecavalier back in the lineup with Simmons now out. His pass tipped away. Nieto, the hero these teams met back in San Jose, is on the puck, but could not control it there. Lauritsen steers it to the boards. Flyers trying to get it back. And now it's the Sharks dumping it into the Philadelphia zone. Back to try and get it is Mark Alt, making his NHL debut. Just up from the Phantoms. They paired with Lauritsen, as we had mentioned. They jam forward in the corner. Sharks come away with it, though. Chris Tierney walking to the slot. Tierney's shot blocked in front. Another try was blocked. Back out it goes. A point shot. They score. Finally made its way through. Matt Irwin firing. I'm not sure if it deflected. And the Sharks take a 1-0 lead. 4:38 into this one.
Well, the Flyers got a little choppy in their own end, and a couple of guys who are new to the Flyers orange and black this season out there for their first shift on the blue line. And Sharks allowed to walk right in. Irwin's shot looked like it might have been deflected in front. If not, it was certainly a shot that picked the corner well.
Yeah, I think it went right in, Billy. Irwin, it came out. Mason made a great save before it. Puck got fired back out. And from the angle I had, where I'm here at the midsection, it looked like it went straight in. Seeing eye shot right upstairs over Mason's glove.
And if so, that'll be the 8th of the year for Irwin. So as a defenseman that doesn't even play every game, he's got 8 goals. He knows how to put the puck in the net. Play stopped here as the Philadelphia net came off the scoring. It is Irwin. He's credit for the goal.
Assist number 50, Chris Tierney. Along with number 57, Bobby Winkles. 4 minutes and 38 seconds.
Well, when you have time from this range at the top of the circle and you've got a screen, as long as you can see some twine on either side of the screen, and you know the goalie is not watching you, you've got a pretty good chance of scoring if you can nail your shot.
I thought when the puck actually left Irwin's stick, it was going to go wide on the short side, and nothing but twine.
Flyers come back in. Delzato with a shot that's denied by Stalock. That's the first shot for the Flyers in the game. Now it's centered. Here's Reed. Matt Reed circling back to the corner with it. Sends it right on back to off of Stalock. And the Sharks get to it. Bo Thornton dropping it back. And then Goodrow will take a hit from Braden Shen as he dumps the puck in. That was actually Malcolm Carlson who took that hit. Former teammate of Pierre-Edouard Bellemare. A long time teammate over in Sweden.
They both have championship rings. 2 of them.
That team got raided because we've been talking about a lot of former teammates of Bellemare throughout the NHL this year.
That would be Skellefteå in northern Sweden that has gone decades between championships and then won 2 in a row.
And their players were noticed.
They all got big contracts someplace else.
Didn't they? Cavalier looking to get that to Vanderbilt. He's caught up by Justin Braun. Puck in skates. Braun will steer it along. Hoping for Tommy Wingles. He was checked. And now back behind the net it goes to LeCavalier. Vinny turning with it. Then reversing, hoping for Bellemare. Braun will get there first. Bellemare never gives up in the play. Ties him up. Vanderbilt there as well. These two work, and work some more every shift. Now Cavalier with a hit, but the Sharks get it to the line, not out. Grossman keeps it in. Braun is after it again. He'll take a hit from Bellemare. Manning kept the puck in, but the Sharks get control. Spin it out to center. Grossman on it there. Grossman to Voracek. Voracek cutting on in, but his shot is blocked by Braun. Jake gets back to it out the other side. And to the point, Grossman fakes the shot, then takes it deflected. Hit the post, rebound, they score! Voracek and Raffl were both there trying to hammer it home. And the Flyers tie it up at 1.
Boy, what a series of great plays, starting with this pass from Voracek to Grossman, and then some fancy dancing at the point from Grossman. It caromed off 2 people on the way to the net.
And a great job by Michael Raffl, just hanging out in front of the net, biding his time. He's able to spin off the San Jose defender. And that's actually forward. Tommy Hertl helping out his defenseman, and a great play by Raffl. He's got a real knack for the net of late.
I went off 2 Sharks before it got there, but that should give Jake Voracek an assist.
Absolutely.
Says Bill Clement, looking toward the Art Ross race.
I agree with you.
Voracek trying to get that back to the point. It's intercepted, and now the Sharks steamroll back. Marleau in. Marleau pass! And Mason the save on Couture. The net is off its moorings. And play is stopped. Dave Mason, a huge save. Raffl hits the 20-goal mark. As he has now lit the lamp in 3 straight games. 4 goals in his last 5. 1-1. Sharks Flyers. First period action. Our Ontario travel game notes. Flyers, they have been good all year pretty much here at home. Running for their 22nd win at the Wells Fargo Center. As we said earlier, though, the Sharks have also been good here in this building. Winners of their last 6 here. 6-1 in their last 7. And lost in December of 2000. Try to put an end to that streak. 1-1 game. Irwin for the Sharks. Raffl for the Flyers. And the Sharks keep the puck in. Lauritsen backhands it. Nick Cousins trying to knock that puck out of the zone. It's back to Lauritsen. They'll play it to Ryan White. And now it's all. Everybody but Zach Rinaldo on the edge for the Flyers right now has played with the Phantoms this year. As that puck is flipped ahead, Ryan White saw a little time for the Phantoms. Couldn't get that. And he got up with it. Good. Play it off the wing, and the shot is snared by Mason. Carlson. He'll hang on.
Let's take a look now at our power back rehabilitation comeback goal. Michael Raffl just moments ago. San Jose up 1-0. Good shot from the point. Nick Grossman hit a couple sticks on the way in. Raffl on the doorstep that tied the game back up at 1. I believe Voracek getting the assist on that too.
He did.
Yep.
Secondary assist. Grossman the other helper. So Jake into a tie. Top the NHL. We'll keep you posted on those standings throughout the remainder of the season, I'm sure. Flyers get their first ever Art Ross Trophy winner. Reed couldn't hang on to that pass in the slot. He would have had a scoring chance. The other way, though, go the Sharks. Here's Burns up on the rush. His shot batted away by Mason as he broke his stick. Second time a Shark player has broken his stick trying to take a shot. And manning ahead, that could not be handled by Braden Shen. And ends up an icing.
Well, you'll want to listen up to this, and you probably want to be here as the Flyers take on their cross-state rivals, the Pittsburgh Penguins. That's April the 5th, a week from tomorrow. Game time is 12:30 right here at Wells Fargo Center, and seats are still available at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. I don't care what's at stake. That is always a great matchup. And now Jake Voracek tied with Sidney Crosby for the league lead in points. Crosby had 8 games left coming into today. Jake Voracek 7.
Race for a puck here. Braden Shen did not maneuver past Justin Braun. Now it's down in the Philadelphia zone. Somewhat ironic because remember early in the season Jake was joking. He wanted to take a picture of those standings. It's a nice save by Mason. Thick save off of her. Now back out it goes. Shot blocked. Sharks buzzing again here. Schultz, they will tip it free. Voracek sent it back, and now here's Raffl. Long outlet looking for Voracek. He could not flag it down. And so that is icing. Gives us a chance to divulge our Jeep trivia question for today. Sharks Arena is known as the Shark Tank. Not officially, but that's the nickname. What animal-themed arena was the original home of the Sharks? The Stampede Corral, the Cow Palace, or the Shark Center? I'll give you the answer later on.
Not the Bull Palace. Cow Palace. Cow Palace. I got it.
Shark Center was an outstanding building. Battle for the puck to the left of Stalock.
Right.
Giroux gets to it. Giroux for Raffl. Raffl drops it back out to Manning. Manning off the wall. They're looking for Giroux. Is there. The pass didn't make it through. Now here's Voracek, a shot. Changed direction on the way in, but bounces into the glove of Stalock.
That was a tricky little shot right there. When Jake turned around and shot it, I thought he was going to have a chance hopping off the stick of the San Jose defender into the net. They've had a good start. That line again, Giroux, Voracek, and Michael Raffl.
Jimmy, you mentioned that photo that Jake Voracek said take a picture of, which had him at the top of the league in scoring earlier in the season. The photo hasn't faded yet, has it?
It was Crosby who was at the top 10. That was about, what, 20 games in? And Jake said, I'm going to take a picture as he laughed it off, saying, you know, I probably won't be there all that long. He's been there all season long.
I think it might have been less than that, too, Jimmy.
Yeah, it might have been 15 games.
Yeah.
Oh. Tied up by Ben Smith. Battle for it. Smith comes away with a puck. Down behind and then taken off the play there by Alt. His dad knew all about physical contact as an offensive lineman in the NFL. That's Kansas City Chief, John Alt. Cavalier will backhand that one in. Stalock grabs it and decides to hang up. We passed the midpoint of period number 1.
Jake Voracek has been a consistent producer since day 1 of the season, putting up numbers both with goals and assists. He snipes on the power play, and he's made some unbelievable passes to help other people score. This was a dandy in the first period today. All the way back to the point to Nick Grossman. Jake's not afraid to mix it up either. The top 10 scorers in the NHL, Jake Voracek is number 1 in penalty minutes with 68.
And he's also not gone more than 2 straight games without a point this year. That's that consistency that you talked about.
Yeah, that's an incredible
you guys
number.
are both on it. 8 games into the season was when he took the picture.
That's right. Yeah, I thought it was relatively new. 20 games, you start becoming a believer.
You know what? I talked to him about 20 games, and he still didn't believe. Really? Other people did, that's for sure. I'm sure he's a believer now. What a year he's had. Even when he wasn't scoring, as both he and Giroux had to dip in their production there for about a month's time, he was still playing very well. Puck wasn't going in. Grossman, they say, kept that puck in the zone. Manning will spin it down low. And now Thornton. To Pavelski. Going to whip it out to the neutral zone. Manning's back to play it. Well, Manning, this is NHL game number 15. Oliver Lordson's also seen time in the NHL. Manning turns the puck over here. Shot in on goal and saved by Mason all the way out to Marlowe for a shot that goes high and wide. Well, the call-ups have had a little issue with turnovers here early on. Perhaps jitters as Vlasic sends that one wide to the Philadelphia net. Now Reed leaned on along the wall by Braun. Goes back to Manning. The backhand up the wall. Schenn couldn't get his stick on it. And it's Marlowe trying to center. Good play by Grossman to knock that down and ram it off the glass and down the ice. But it will be icing against Philadelphia. The Flyers beginning to catch up to the Sharks. The icing count. Stay up to date on all of Philly's sports teams with the CSN Philly Sports app. Breaking sports news, analysis from our insiders, plus scores, schedules, and more. Visit csnphilly.com/app and download the CSN Philly Sports app today. Off the draw, the Sharks control. Here's Vlasic. A wrister is blocked by Reed. They now race for the puck. Vlasic can get to it. The more underrated defenseman in the NHL. That puck out to center ice.
So smart.
It was actually when he went down in that series against the Kings last year. The Sharks had a 3-0 lead. The series seemed to turn after that.
Well, he's kind of the Sharks version of what Kimmo Timonen meant to the Flyers. Everything kind of stabilized with a guy like Kimmo in the lineup, and it does when Vlasic's in the lineup.
He isn't always on Team Canada in the Olympics for no reason. I mean, he's a really good player. You just don't hear about him a whole lot. Chris Tierney after the puck for the Sharks. Loves it, knocks it down, tries to spin away from Schultz, then goes back out. And then Dillon from the blue line, a shot that's blocked in front. And now Giroux has it, a 3-on-2 for the Flyers. Giroux to Voracek. Voracek in across the line, cutting to the slot. Voracek holds back across, unable to bunt it home with Giroux. It was blocked. What a setup by Voracek.
No doubt, but Brendan Dillon, number 4 for San Jose, did a good job of staying with Giroux.
Back the other way, Nieto. To get away from the checking, centered it. All the way through, and now Ryan White on it. Another 3-on-2. Flyers hurry. Ryan White, right wing dish. Ronaldo back for White, but in his skate. He's off his skate. Ronaldo gets to it in the corner. Out to the point. Oh, the shot wide. Back out to Lauritsen. Lauritsen to the corner. Dropped off there. Ronaldo looking for it along with White. White lifts the stick of one Shark. Ronaldo picks up the puck. Out to Alt. Risking one high and wide. White taken down. No call there. Nick Cousins to the puck. Cousins back to White. White takes a look and drops it off to Ronaldo. He's checked, but there is Cousins. Good support. This line doing some hard work along the wall. Cousins gets it out to Alt for a shot that's deflected wide. Ronaldo trying to center it back out in front. Dug loose now. Here's Cousins to Alt for a shot that's blocked. White after it, bunting it back out toward Lauritsen. He'll just swat it around behind the net of the Sharks. So this Phantoms line and defense pair doing a good job as they kept the Sharks bottled up for a shift.
That was an NHL shift.
Outstanding work. There's Manning now missing Vandevelde with that pass, and it becomes icing. And the face-off back into Philadelphia ice.
Great speed here you're going to see by Jake Voracek. Just tremendous. Gets the puck from Giroux in the neutral zone. And look at a heads-up play. Skates all the way across. Little pass back to Giroux. And you said, Billy, earlier, what a nice play by Brendan Dillon. Staying with Giroux. No panic in that house area between the hash marks. And he breaks up the play.
Now, if it's a one-lane drive by one player, you look for the pass through that seam. Jake Voracek had both line mates drive the net. So the lane was wide open for him to cut diagonally across the zone and make something happen. He sees the ice so well.
Yeah, and that backs the defenseman off. You know, when you're a guy going backwards, the D-man, you're assessing the situation, looking at Voracek coming down the wing. Problem is he's a left shot on the right side. The other problem is he can fly. So you're trying to pass him off to the defenseman and hope the forward helps you. He just creates so much with that great speed and vision.
Yeah, almost see that situation, Chris, as a defenseman and say, help!
Yes, correct. Yeah. That's why he's leading the league in points, I guess.
Wait for that back pressure to really help in that situation. But Jake, as Chris says, he's so fast, he gets away from that back pressure. There's a nice play by Vanderbilt getting ahead to LeCavalier. LeCavalier shot, and it goes off the stick and out of play. 5:41 remaining, first period, tied at 1.
Let's take a look now at our Chevy player profile of this hockey game. And it's going to be San Jose Sharks center Logan Couture. We're going to have a look at 20 goals. You can see 5 years in a row, guys. Really, I think the brightest young player they have Thornton, guys a little bit older with Marleau. Then you got Joe Pavelski, who's going to probably take over the leadership role. But Logan Couture, a dynamic, fast skater, a creator, but a big-time goal scorer. And he will be sure to be a big part of the future here.
Off the scramble here, the puck in the corner is Couturier. Leaned down by Pavelski. Pavelski works both ends of the ice. Nice scoring player, but also really good defensively. By the way, for Couture, his birthday today, turns 26. Couturier sends that one off the stick out into the slot. And the Sharks have it. Thornton bouncing that one to the left of Mason. Pavelski after it. Up by Schenn. Manning trying to contain Thornton. We'll tuck it down low. Schenn races over after it. Hand of the defenseman had rotated down. Pavelski taken to the ice. Grossman will go. Power play number 2 for the Sharks. I don't think Grossman thought he actually did a whole lot there. He thought that Pavelski might have accentuated, but Grossman goes to the box.
You know, it was enough of a tug right there with Pavelski off balance and the wrong guy watching. The circumstances kind of worked against Nick Grossman. The crowd here doesn't like the call.
Neither did Nick Grossman.
No.
And rightly so. San Jose gets the second power play of this game.
So Grossman sits. By the way, we talked about Logan Couture's birthday. We also have a couple birthdays in our crew. Carl Graver and Mike Miller celebrating their birthdays. We're not going to give their ages, but a shout out and thanks to all of our technical crew today. All the sights and sounds of this game. There's a quick shot by Irwin. Save made by Mason. He hangs on, and the Flyers clear the porch. But happy birthday, Carl and Mike, and Logan Couture. Popular day.
Party! Send up the slice of cake.
Take Carl out for dinner, maybe.
He'll go.
Yeah.
I can't make it. I'll just take the tab.
That's right, Billy. I'll give you the meal money.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt moving that ahead. Elmar couldn't find the puck initially, but he was able to steer it down the ice. The Sharks go to their second power play. 30 seconds in. There's Tierney trying to gather that puck. Belmar keep it away from him. Schultz joins in the battle. Belmar Schurter was there. Now the Sharks have it. There's Lassen. Into the middle, Irwin right back to Lassen. Deals it down low. Schurter back out. Irwin shot is blocked. Might have broken the stick. No, Vanderbilt's stick is okay. And the Flyers clear it all the way down the ice. Vanderbilt checking that stick all the way to the bench. He was as convinced as I was that it was broken. It certainly sounded like the stick broke when he blocked it. Not that shot, but apparently not. Here's a shot by Burns that drifts wide off of a body. Now Thornton back out to Burns. Wisen fires. That one bounces wide of the net. Didn't get all of it. And now Ryan White to it, and he'll clear. Knocked down in the neutral zone by Burns. Puts it back to Thornton. He's crashed into by Raffl. It's across ice. Pavelski has it now. Looking wide on Manning. Pavelski takes a hit, but got the puck back out. Marleau flips it down low. The redirection goes wide. 27 seconds remaining in the power play. Lawrenson on the penalty kill as is Manning. That puck drifts into the net. But after the whistle had blown, as Mason had melted it down.
Well, nobody was arguing this. We did hear the whistle, then saw the puck. That's probably the way the Sharks players on the ice heard it too.
It's an interesting one, huh? Because yeah, you're right. I believe the intent to blow the whistle was there. Simultaneous.
That was weird.
They're checking this.
I have no idea what the puck had to have a spin on it or something. What propelled it? Last time I checked, the ice is level. Why was that puck rolling the way it was?
You're right. Unless it started, Billy, and he started up at the top of his pads, and it was already in continual movement. He gets it in the side, right?
Yeah.
So it was it spun back off the stick, and it just kept moving back towards the net.
The whistle blows just as the puck's getting to the line. It's going to be very interesting as they now check back with Toronto in the situation room on this, because if it's an original shot that goes in, they have the right now to reverse it and say it's a good hockey goal. This will be a very interesting decision.
And based on what it was before, Jimmy, that would be no goal, because clearly the whistle blew before the puck crossed the red line, at least from what we saw. Saw 2 replays of it, and that's the way it looked to me.
The ref can also maintain that his intention to blow the whistle preceded the actual sound of the whistle. So it's becoming more complex.
And we'll get the call from, I believe Dave Jackson is going to, yes, Dave Jackson will give us the call.
After review, this play, the whistle was irrelevant. It was a continuous play. The puck went into the net. It's a good goal.
That's the way they're calling it now. The whistle isn't really the key anymore, because it was just a simple shot on goal and the puck went into the net. And so that turns into a goal, and the Sharks now have a 2-1 lead. It's a power play talent.
Steve Mason clearly didn't have this thing shut down, or at least the puck stopped and in his grasp. I think you're right, Chris. It hit him in the logo, then just trickled down between his legs and his pads and kept on rolling.
And that's exactly what happened, Billy. It just caught him there, and the puck momentum rolled down somewhere down his pad or his pants into the back of the net. Of course, I got the San Jose players over here looking at my monitor, and Logan Couture said he saw it roll in before the whistle. So everybody had a different view.
He's looking for an assist. Don't let him see your monitor.
Of course he is, yeah. Well, I can't throw a towel over it.
Well, Joe Pavelski scores a lot of goals. He scores some pretty goals, too. This one, not so pretty, but he'll take it. His 36th goal of the year. It's a power play goal. It's his 19th power play goal of the year.
He drew that penalty, too, on Nick Grossman to get it started.
So, 2-1. Sharks had the lead back. Here's Reed trying to tie it up again. He's got off the pass by Braun, but he finds Delzato. Delzato holds, waits, goalie out, centered it. Nobody there for the Flyers to get control. 3-on-2 the other way. It's Thornton lumbering up the right wing. Thornton stops his pass, and it's set wide of the net by Carlson. Back by Couturier. And Robin to Schultz. 2-1 Sharks, 2.5 to play here in the first. Zato, that one off of Couture's stick. And then Manning gets it back now for Cousins, who will one-handed deeper into the Sharks zone. Couture and Burns get the assist on that goal by Pavelski. 16:45. Cousins getting that at Ronaldo didn't see it. Burns. Cross ice. Takes it back from Scott Hannon. Now Burns, who's turned 30 years of age, will play it down the ice. No icing this time. John Scott out there. Big John Scott. 6'8", 260 pounds. 85% of the time all the way down the ice. There's Scott wearing 20, turns it over. Voracek waits for his base to get onside. Turns with the puck. Finds Giroux. His shot's blocked. And it no one needed to block that. It's cleared out, sent right back in by the Flyers, but it goes up over the glass and out of play.
Well, we want to remind everybody you can take your Flyers fandom to the next level with a 2015-16 membership. The membership gets you best prices plus access to team events, an industry payment plan option, and more. Just call 215-218-PUCK to order renew.
Pretty funny when you talk about 6'8" John Scott, Jimmy. He was lined up next to Ryan White. I guess he'd be considered the Flyers' resident tough guy in this game today. And the players saying, "Come on, Whitey, give it to him." And they're all having a good laugh about it on the bench. So is John Scott. So there's still some fun out here. You know what Ryan White does when we fight 6'8" John Scott?
Gonna look him eye to chest.
That's a big man. Yep.
We got Oliver Lauritsen in the lineup too, though. That's put in a lot of penalty minutes and a lot of fights in the minors. So
Bruce shot there, denied by Stalock.
Lauritsen 6'6".
Yes.
Joe Pavelski is not, but he is a talented goal scorer. Yeah. He has been everything for the San Jose Sharks this season.
Really, over the last half-decade, only Alexander Ovechkin, a better power play scorer than Joe Pavelski in the NHL. But he plays out west in a lot of his games late in the evening here, of course, in the East. And I don't think a lot of people on the East Coast really know how good Joe Pavelski is.
Kind of a quiet brilliance because of the lack of exposure.
Good play there by Manning. Got the puck out to center. Now Lecavalier. Process for Mandeville. Into the final minute of the first period. Mandeville swings wide. Blew it tired. Does keep it alive to Bellemare, but his pass intercepted by Tommy Wingels. They get to Nieto. Nieto across the Philadelphia line. Quick one in, gloved by Mason. He'll hang on. Nieto and Manning tangle up well after the whistle.
Brandon Manning put up his share of penalty minutes as so far with the Phantoms as well. So Phantoms have a lot of guys that aren't afraid to drop the gloves.
150 penalty minutes for Manning. I think he had something like 112 when he went back to join the Phantoms after leaving the Flyers in Calgary, and now he has 150. So he's been busy the last 3 or 4 games with the Phantoms.
So he's still the #2 scorer for the Phantoms. Nick Cousins is still the leading scorer for the Phantoms. And Manning was #2 in penalty minutes and still is.
Mason gloving that shot from Burns. Another face-up. Manning hoping that perhaps he's going to get some playing time here, and maybe 6 or 7 games down the stretch to try to show he belongs. He is in the last year of his contract.
Brandon Manning really is a whatever it takes kind of guy to help the team.
Yes, you're right. He has an awful lot of sandpaper to a lineup, and he plays hard. He's competitive. Got a ton of respect for a guy like that, too. He's always positive.
Sharks moving up in numbers here. 28 seconds remaining in the period. Another pass. The Tip Flyers trying to get it back. Schenn couldn't come up with it. Tierney tips it to the slot. Reed after shot was blocked in front. Back out to center it goes. Burns will wind it in off of Mason. Lozano threw it with 12 seconds remaining in the period. Right wing feed Couturier. Flyers have to hurry here. Voracek shifts. Pass deflects. Couturier fired it wide. And that's all for period number 1. Stalock ended up falling back into the net after some contact. Period number 1 is history. Raffle the goal for the Flyers. Irwin and Pavelski for the Sharks. Today's Flyers Sharks first period was brought to you by Kia. To learn more, visit kia.com. By Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well. And by your Philadelphia Super Network Buick GMC dealers. Intermission Live brought to you by Mercedes-Benz is up next. John Bork and Al Morganti with their analysis of period number 1 after this. Today's second period is brought to you by local Delaware Valley Audi dealers and legendary Audi Quattro all-wheel drive, the world's top-selling luxury all-wheel drive system. And by McDonald's. Any size, hot or iced coffee is just $1. McDonald's. I'm loving it. One period down, 2 to go. Sharks have the 2-1 lead. Let's take a look at our TNC NHL update. Taking to Boston, Henrik Lundqvist back between the pipes. For the Rangers, it has not gone well. This is the second goal of the period for Milan Lucic, making it 2-0 Boston. And the Bruins were not done in the first period. Turnover there. Carl Soderberg will beat the King. It's 3-0 Boston. The Cam Talbot chances in New York have already begun. I doubt that, but not exactly the way the Rangers wanted to have Henrik's return from the injured list go, as they're down 3-0 after 1.
Well, the Bruins still on the bubble coming into today's action in a tie with Ottawa for the last wild card spot in the East, but Ottawa with the game in hand, technically ahead of the Bruins, so the Bruins are still between life support and reality in the playoffs and gunning for every point they can get.
Underway second period here. Teams that are mathematically still alive but need a lot to happen. Thornton's shot goes wide right off the rush. The Sharks with a scoring chance. Thornton missing the target. Flyers Turn it over again, and Pavelski picks it off. Cross ice in ahead of the puck was Thornton, and offside is called there. Pavelski, one of the goal scorers for the Sharks, along with Matt Irwin in that first period. Raffl scored for the Flyers.
Just looking at Boston's schedule, guys, a little early. They have a real tough road ahead of them here, too. So that's a huge game against New York for them today, a home game.
Seem to have turned things around on the positive side. There's a centering pass and the shot. The save made by Mason. Logan Couture getting that shot off. So 2 good scoring chances for the Sharks here in the first minute of period number 2.
And this one starting with a real aggressive forecheck. You can make good first man contact and push somebody off the puck. You can generally generate a scoring chance, and that's how San Jose got there. Michael Raffl went down. Looks like he's up okay now. He was trying to hold. Oh, he was trying to miss Logan Couture from behind, and he did a nosedive right into Nick Schultz.
Little stinger right there. He's up and ready to go. Didn't even come off.
Friendly fire has not been good for the Flyers this year. Ended Wayne Simmons' season. There have been other examples of it. Flyers with the puck here, moving up cross ice. Jake Voracek gains the line and then centers it off of Raffl's stick. He's in a good spot. Couldn't hang on to it. Now they get the puck to Voracek behind the net. The stutter step move and back around behind the net to Giroux. Giroux waits, takes a look, rotates out and gets it to Voracek. Voracek hanging on and then trying to flip that one down low, but he goes off his stick. Flyers trying to recover the puck. And they do, but out in center and back in offside is Del Zotto.
Let's take a look at our Geico quote of the hockey game, and it's that man, Jake Voracek, talking about Ryan White, who we opened up with here tonight, guys. And you know what? I think he pretty much hits it on the head. He's a great player. He's a gritty player. Tough to play against, and he's been outstanding. I mean, he really has. He's done an awful lot. I think the one thing when you talk to the coaches about him or anybody in management is his puck sense, his hockey sense, and his ability to make plays. I think that's what separates him from another guy that's out there to create energy and provide the spark for his team.
Flyers back in their own zone. Here's Grossman. It's tied up. Nieto comes away with the puck. Angle shot save made. Mason back out. Burns a big blast. That deflection goes off the glass. Back out now to Irwin. Holds it down low, and it's Grossman. Early jump belongs to the Sharks. Another turnover by the Flyers there, but Burns' offering goes off the stick and into the safety netting. There is Brent Burns, who is known for that beard. Gives him a different look, that's for sure.
Well, he's known for the beard and never sporting a mouthful of teeth. There are always some missing on and off the ice.
That's a defenseman's beard, guys. That's why.
That's right. Up front, he didn't have that beard.
Make you slower with a beard like that.
He's gone back and forth throughout his career. Actually, it was a pretty darn good forward, but they decided to put him back in the blue line, and he's right up among the scoring leaders in points among defensemen.
That's a defenseman look.
Yes, Bill.
Wow, well, there's a fine line between a defenseman and a mountain man, then.
That's, yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
I never saw your mountain man look when you were playing.
We had a couple of beards in long playoff runs, but I did not go with that in the regular season.
They were clip-ons.
That's beer soakers. That one right next to here. Brent Burns has got one for sure.
Battle for the puck in the Philadelphia zone. Puck has been here for most of this second period. The Flyers trying to get their bearings. Ronaldo goes in heavily after Ben Smith. Smith comes away with the puck. He's tied up by Cousins. Cousins steals the puck. Gets it back to Alt. Alt now to White. White's pass rolls to Cousins, and he'll spin it into the San Jose zone. Brendan Dillon is back. All the way out to Carlson. Carlson, 24-year-old rookie, head to Thornton. Back to Carlson. Carlson shot and blocked, and it flutters into the mitt of Mason, who hangs on.
Steve Mason was busy in the first period. The Sharks had 2 power plays. The Flyers did not have one, so that's where the Sharks generated most of their numbers. You might have noticed a little bit of room in the Sharks bench. Somebody's missing.
Marc-Andre Vlasic.
That would be a big absence.
Yeah, that's
for that team.
Huge loss for them.
He had 6 minutes and 3 seconds of ice time in the first, which is a little bit down for him. But he's not there now. That shot from the point off the stick and then smothered by Mason. Pavelski gets it back. Pavelski spinning away from Couturier. Pavelski trying to backhand. That was blocked. And now it's Thornton again. Thornton centering. It drifts all the way across. Braun's shot is blocked. And the Flyers just can't get the puck away from the Sharks. Now they have it. And Delzato will chip it off glass. Schenn has a man all over him. Is still able to run it into the Shark zone. Stalock played it to Thornton. And then right back behind the Sharks net. 3.5 minutes into this second period. A 2-1 San Jose lead. Thornton's pass gobbled up by Grossman, who charges up with it. The right wing feed for Schenn. He could not come up with it. Irwin check. Raffl right back out there. And forechecking with urgency. Giroux joins as Raffl gets knocked down from behind. Fire bench call for penalty. They did not get it. Here is Stalock. Braun takes a hit from Raffl. The puck is cleared out to center. More collisions there as Voracek sidesteps a check, gets the puck to Giroux. He lost control. Then Raffl is shot in the save by Stalock. Another magnificent play by Voracek. And then Raffl denied by the goaltender.
It all started with a bone-jarring hit in the neutral zone by Brandon Manning, and in this counterattack, Michael Raffl didn't have much of an angle and was looking at a large logo from Alex Stalock.
You're getting a look at Voracek. That's after the hit, but what a great play. A little, looks like he got his knee swiped right there. But look at that hit right here by Manning, the one you're talking about, Billy, on Thomas Hertl, right in front of me. Great hit by Manning.
That's part of his repertoire for sure. Physical play. Patrick Marleau sends the puck in. All the way around it goes. Out to the point. Burns a quick shot. Blocked by Schultz. Thomas Hertl after it there. To the line and out. Burns will play it back in from center ice. Nick Schultz is back to get it. Delzato quickly in the middle. Elmar. His pass intercepted. Sharks in the counterattack. Wingels. Cross ice for Marleau. Angle shot. Save made by Mason. Delzato picks up the puck. Delzato lost it. Schultz is there and he'll clear it all the way down. Icing against Philadelphia.
Well, the Flyers are going to say a huge thank you to the people that are the best fans in hockey during Fan Appreciation Night. Get this, it's Tuesday, April 7th. It's against the New York Islanders, and over $100,000 worth of prizes, $100 grand worth of prizes are going to be randomly given away. You might want to see if you can get a ticket to that game.
Sharks get the puck back to Dillon, and now Dillon to Irwin, who's shot into heavy traffic, ricochets wide. Tierney tries to center, it's blocked off. Great job by Dillon to keep it in the zone. And now Wingels and Belmar scramble for it. Tierney in to help out. Worked on by Delzato. The puck high in the air, now it's Schultz. And Schultz getting it through center, Irwin right there to Tierney. Quickly, back come the Sharks. Nieto back for Tierney, it went on through. Get it to the point. Dillon, whose shot deflected and then blocked in front. Cavier could not come up with it. And the Sharks have it back. Sharks team with the jump here so far in the second period. That puck into the San Jose bench. And so play is stopped.
The Flyers will take this stoppage because their group that was out there on the icing was still caught out there. This is the long change period because your bench is at the other end of the ice, the other side of the red line, so the Flyers are kind of happy they got off. But Michael Delzato, not happy. Michael Delzato was told by Craig Berube before this game to be ready to play 30 minutes. To me, it's almost as if Michael's trying to do too much. Doesn't have to try to do more, just be ready to play a lot.
Yeah, and if you look at a lot of those guys in the league too, Billy, that play 30 minutes, it's amazing how they're able to play hard yet consume a lot of energy at the same time, conserve a lot of energy.
In actuality, it was Brandon Manning who led the Flyers in ice time in the first period with over 9 minutes. Delzato was up well over 8 as well. Here is Manning, off glass, but into the glove of Pavelski. He's checked by Schenn, and Manning is there to hammer it out to center ice. Manning has it there, a long-time NHL defenseman. Got it off the glove of Manning, then played by Pavelski deeper into the Philadelphia zone. Manning to Grossman, and now pass into the skates of Brayden Schenn. And Marleau has it going the other way. Offside go the Sharks at the Philadelphia line. Nearly 6.5 minutes into period number 2.
Welcome back. Time to take a look now at our Wells Fargo great check of the game. Brandon Manning delivers in a big way on Thomas Hertl. Hertl getting the puck just outside the blue line. Manning steps up. What a terrific hit. A lot of grit in his game, and that is the Wells Fargo great check of the game by Brandon Manning.
He's a power play mainstay for the Phantoms, too. The Lehigh Valley Club in the American Hockey League. So Brandon Manning is everything for the Phantoms, both penalty killing, power play, hits like that. Well-rounded player.
Flyers have out hit the Sharks 21-6. Part of that, the fact that they've been in their zone more than the Flyers, and you're usually flying the body more when you're in a defensive posture. Voracek hit there on Dillon.
He thinks Dillon shot the puck at him intentionally up high. You know that?
It did look as though he arrived with the vigor there. Ill humor, as they say. Here's Giroux. Ahead, he's got Voracek. Voracek, quick pass to Raffl. Raffl holding on to it now. Backhands it ahead. Delzato. Behind that, Voracek is stripped to the puck. Brent Burns comes up with it. And the Sharks will bounce one out to Couture. The birthday boy sends it into the Philadelphia zone. We're trying to tie up Hertl. He did so illegally, and now Hertl gets to it anyhow. The centering pass blocked off by Raffl. Now Braun is shot off the stick and taken by Giroux. Giroux also has been affected by the flu bug that is going through the team. He is clearly not at 100% for this game. Giving it all that he has. That puck goes all the way down the ice. Delzato racing, crashes into Gaudreau. Behind the net. And up the wall. Flyers get it back. Quick pass into the middle. And here's Alt. His pass for Ronaldo. Bit of a suicide pass there, but Ronaldo able to avoid contact. And the puck ahead. Smith, Gaudreau. Back to Brian White for Philadelphia. Drop it off. And in Manning. Off the stick. Yep, unable to get a stick on that was Ronaldo, and so the play is called on icing. Well, starting Monday, April the 6th, wake up. An all-new morning show dedicated to feeding the passion of Philly sports fans. Don't miss the premiere of Breakfast on Broad, hosted by Rob Ellis, Jim Feely, Barrett Brooks, and Sarah Baker. Weekday mornings, 6 to 8, over on the Comcast network. That's a week from Monday. That rolls out center ice, back to get it. It's handed. Ronaldo, the shoulder into him. Burns starts up his pass off the stick. Deep into the Philadelphia zone. Manning takes a look around. Jabs it up the wall, but right there was Tierney, but he's stripped. Vinny Lecavalier gets the legs moving through center. He'll bank it in. Stalock stops the puck, plays it right back into Lecavalier. Vinny is checked. He'll get some help from Vandevelde. And now Lecavalier again. Now behind the net. Protects the puck. And drops it off. He centered in front. Both Vandevelde and Bellemare were there. Could not get their sticks on it, or at least control it. The setup from Delzato. Schultz pinches. Trying to keep the puck in the zone, and does. To Lecavalier. Lecavalier with two Sharks to deal with. Gets him up the puck to Bellemare for a shot that's blocked off by Tierney. Delzato's in after it again. Delzato back out to Schultz. Schultz to Lecavalier for a shot that goes wide. A loose stick sitting right in front of the net. Penalty coming up. Delayed call against the Sharks. Schultz tossed the puck out to center. Mason to the bench. Extra attacker on, and the delayed call. Schultz will wait and get it to Voracek. Voracek shifting in center. Holding on, dropping it back. Delzato. Delzato in, cuts to the middle, still has control. Turns with it, he gets it out to Schultz. Schultz trying to keep it alive, it bounces off of Thornton, and now the Sharks to the puck. And there's your whistle, but a penalty against San Jose, and the Flyers will finally get their first power play.
Because of some good work in the offensive zone, Flyers generate some attack and get the consolation prize, which is their power play on the ice. They didn't score on the pressure that they had on San Jose, but there's been so little pressure. The Flyers will take this, and again, it was the Bellemare group, Vandevelde, that made it happen.
Michael Delzato had a very, very good shift to that one. Again, more of a catalyst in this situation, moving around, making it difficult for the San Jose forwards to keep an eye on him on the point.
Chuck Donahue, the McDonald's power play payoff contestant. Flyers power play. Still third ranked at home, 27.1% for the year. Fourth ranked, and against a subpar Sharks penalty kill. Down in the bottom third of the league, although it's a kill that has been perfect over the last 4 games. Flyers were 1 for 2 against the Sharks out in San Jose. Flyers trying to tie the game up on the power play. Get Jake Voracek another point. The change in the unit is that Ryan White is now up front with Wayne Simmons injured and out for the rest of the year. So Ryan White assumes Simmons' position down low in front, trying to cause trouble there. Delzato, also new to the first power play unit. There he is as he replaces the ill Mark Strike. Voracek fumbled the puck, couldn't get a shot up. It ricochets around and ended up hitting Stalock and staying out. Giroux gets it back to Delzato. Giroux to White, back to Giroux. Taking a look, all the way across Voracek, down low. White looking for the tip, but it went on through. Giroux has it back. Giroux a shot. Save made by Stalock through White, who was trying to supply the screen, and the puck is cleared.
Well, the player's well aware of where Jake Voracek is in the NHL scoring race and trying to funnel everything through him.
Now Michael Raffl, who's on in the second unit after the puck with Burns. Burns coughed it up. Reed trying to tip that to Lecavalier. Burns got it instead. Tries to clear. Manning will keep that in. Manning across to Couturier. Back to Manning. And he flubbed the shot. It went off a stick in front. Manning will keep it in, but his cross-ice pass stolen by Logan Couture. Short-handed breakaway. Couturier on goal. Save Mason. And no further play. Big stop by Mason to keep this a 1-goal game.
That sigh of relief you just heard came from Brandon Manning, number 43, who is up from the Phantoms to play in this one, made a couple of good plays and then tried this cross ice that didn't work. Couture was there.
Yeah, those are the ones where when they don't go in and it's to get clear breakaway by San Jose, as good a score as they got. And Brandon Manning, I can assure you, I've been there, guys, when you're following that player up saying, please make that save for me, and Mason did it. All's forgiven. Move on to the next shift.
20 seconds remaining on the Flyers power play. Delzato starts up. Passes to Raffl. Bank it in. The boards by Braun. Reed in for the scramble with the puck, but it bounces free to Ben Smith, the former Blackhawk. Will send it all the way down. That does it for the Philadelphia man advantage. So the Sharks remain on top by a goal. Kick down to 8 minutes remaining in the second period. Vandeveldy chips it in. Belmar's after it. There with Belmar. Over on the other side, there's Schultz. So Vandeveldy, he was tied up. Puck comes free in front, but Ronaldo could not handle it. Now Pavelski will chip it into the Philadelphia zone. Schultz takes a look around. Thornton gets to him. 4 players scramble for the puck to the right of Steve Mason. Pavelski worked on by Belmar. Grossman tips the puck. Vandeveldy over there as well. Who will get control of the puck? It'll be the Flyers. And Zach Ronaldo will get it out of the zone, move it to the red line. He's checked by the Sharks as he got through, but did keep it in the zone. Now Alt will send it around behind the net. Burns cuts that off. Now big hit in the corner by Ronaldo on Matt Irwin. Puck bounces free all the way out to Lauritsen for a shot. Take rebound, Ronaldo! Kicked it free but couldn't get a shot off. Back out to Lauritsen. Arister comes up in the corner. Nick Cousins has it. Cousins dropping it off for Ronaldo. Ronaldo around behind the net and then lost control. Goodrow will clear the zone. Flyers have it back. Lauritsen's long pass tip bounces to Cousins, but offside is called. 6:42 remaining here in the second period.
Well, let's take a look now at our Independence Blue Cross fearless play of this hockey game. Going back to the first period. Quick wraparound play here. Patrick Marleau trying to find the far post on Mason, but Nick Grossman. Nice play. Nice heroic effort going across, getting the stick where the post is. You can see it on the lower left of your screen. Great job by Grossman. That's the Independence Blue Cross fearless play. getting across and making a play for his goalie.
He does a great job on the front porch, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Responsible down there inside those, in that tight area, the crease area. He does a real good job for his goalie.
If they kept track of saves by defensemen, he'd definitely lead the Flyers. He'd probably be fourth on the team in saves for the year behind Messrs. Mason, Emery, and Zepp. He seems to, I'd say, once every 5 or 6 games. It's a biggie. Yeah.
Nick Schultz is great. Andrew McDonald.
Tierney stopped as he could not get the puck into the Philadelphia zone. Ryan White, a nice move, got that puck on the right wing to Schenn. Schenn cutting to the middle into traffic. And shot was blocked. Wingles, barreled into by White from behind. That's a penalty.
No, you think?
Well, Wingles is staying down. The arm goes up, and the Sharks are after Ryan White. They did not like that hit. So White will go to the box.
Well, I got to see this again because it looked like Ryan White didn't hit him very hard, but he may have hit him harder than I think. Okay, he hit him harder than I think.
You know what, though? I know he went after him, and he kind of like fell forward. It wasn't like Ryan White had him 2 feet from the boards and just pasted his numbers when Wingles got up. I think Ryan White's... I think he was trying to get over there to get a hit, and I think when Wingles was there, I think he let up at the end, but it is a penalty.
Yeah. Could have been worse had it been directly into the boards. It was about a 45-degree angle, but it's only a 2-minute boarding penalty.
Yeah, the refs saw it like that too. So.
Yeah.
A lot of times, it depends on the result. If that player stays down on the ice, that might become a 5-minute penalty. It's just the way it is. But Wingles got up after making sure he got a penalty call, and then just a 2-minute call. So, third power play for the Sharks. Centering pass, and it's broken up there by Van de Velde. He sends Bellemare to center. Bellemare weaving to the right wing. Holds on, waits, fires, blocked off by Burns. Now the Sharks start up. Thornton. Couture. Trying to turn back with it. The puck to Thornton. Now back out it goes. Burns across. Pavelski to Burns. The one-time blast is blocked by Bellemare. Cleared by Van de Velde. Bellemare is in some pain now and making his way. Well, he's going to try to get to the bench. Now he does a U-turn as the puck comes back into the Philadelphia zone. And now he winds up with the puck, and he got it all the way down because he wants to get to the bench.
That had to feel like a cannonball hitting him in the chest.
That's the worst. You see them coming like that, Billy, and it's up around the face area. Man, such an emphasis on blocking shots now.
Hurdle centers. It's blocked aside. Reed to it. With speed the other way. Matt Reed, the new papa. And across the line. Holds and then plays it back out. Grossman wasn't anticipating that. Well, Manning, I should say, will go back, get it in front of Mason. And Manning sends it the length of the ice. 35 seconds remaining on the San Jose power play. 4:35 in the second period. Irwin for Hurdle. Wind it deep. Mason cuts it off. They're up the boards, but let's wait to the Sharks. Irwin. Cross ice Braun. Blinds fires wide and out. No, Hurdle kept it in, but then it's deflected by Raffl out to the neutral zone. Braun has to go back and get it for the Sharks. Finally throws it into center. Grossman jumps up in the play. Nick Grossman just jabbing around behind the Sharks net. The power play comes to an end. Out of the box jumps White to find the puck on his stick. White trying to center that one is blocked. Voracek trying to get it back. White has it again, and he'll fling in. Time for Justin Braun. We'll get to Irwin. Flyers pull that one off. Sharks 1 for 3 in the power play in this game. Giroux ahead for the Cavalier. Move the puck to Voracek. Voracek turns with it all the way across Alt. First NHL game is passed behind the net to LeCavalier. LeCavalier looks in front, nothing there, now looking for Voracek. He's tied up. Giroux keeps it alive. Voracek back after it. Sharks get it to the line. Alt keeps it in. Into the corner, that's LeCavalier. Back to Voracek. In front! It deflects just wide! Went off of Hannon and just wide of the net as Voracek almost caught one. Anieta off the skate of Wingles into the Philadelphia zone.
Jake Voracek has been so close to having himself at least a three-point day. He's got one and could have had more.
We'll be back. 2-1 Sharks with a lead. Late second period action. A lot of different looking names and faces. A lot up for the Flyers here. All four of these have played the bulk of this season. The Lehigh Valley Phantoms, but our Flyers here today.
And they're all playing, getting their share of ice time, especially Brandon Manning, who's piling up the minutes.
Mark Alt, the only one making his NHL debut today. Cousins, of course, did that recently. Lauritsen and Manning had NHL time from years past. Brandon Manning looks on. Lauritsen, he played in the NHL 2 seasons ago. He got 15 games with the Flyers. Then last year, all in the AHL. Back up this year.
Well, it's Nick Cousins, number 52, that was trying to hold his ground against Big John Scott. That's a full-time job.
Yes, especially for Nick Cousins at 5'11", 170 pounds. Almost a foot.
Outweighed by 90 pounds?
Yes, and almost a foot shorter. I mean, it was Ryan White back for Philadelphia. Moves it ahead. And there is Cousins, who won't back down. It's not in his nature. It's the puck to Ryan White. White in. They shuffle that one off. Blocked. Cousins tipped it back to Ronaldo. Ronaldo had problems with the referee. White is there to get it back. White. And a nice pass to Manning for a shot deflection. Stalock looks behind him. It's in front of him. Cousins couldn't get his stick free as it was tied up. And the Sharks cleared. Manning knocks it down and pumps it right back in to the San Jose zone. Ronaldo with a hit. Braun slightly after the puck left the scene, and now Pavelski will move it into the Philadelphia zone. Mason plays it to the board. Schenn is tied up. The puck goes to Thornton. Around to the other side of the ice. Reed. He was checked. Grossman kicks it ahead. It bounces to Braden Schenn, who drops it back to Manning. Manning's pass off the diving stick of Reed, so no icing here. Flyers get to it. Couturier centered, but Burns put it out of harm's way. Now Delzato and along for Couturier. He can return it to Delzato. It bounces all. He nobody back for the Flyers at all. So now Thornton gets up to the puck. Only back to catch up is Schultz. Thornton will fire one across ice that Couturier will get to. Braden Schenn moves that one ahead. And now it's Hertl. Hertl in across the line. A wrist shot blocked by Delzato. Second try. Mason smothers that one and hangs on. And then Hertl and Delzato need to paw at one another. Before the guys in striped shirts arrive to restore peace.
Well, whether it's your 30th birthday, your bachelor party, your girls' night out, your girls and guys' night out, your 34th birthday, or a birthday like everybody on our crew today. Special occasion, you got to have a VIP space at a Flyers game. Call 215-389-9500 to book your party suite today. Get the idea? It's about the party. It doesn't matter about the occasion. Go for it.
You heard it from Bill Clement. Just go for it.
1-2 Stanley Cups with that motto.
There's Michael Raffl after the puck. He was turned back by Ben Smith and others. The puck is set into the Philadelphia zone. Or the Sharks zone, I should say. The Flyers trying to get after it. Now here's Manning at the red line. Getting it to Voracek. Voracek nicely in the middle to Giroux. Giroux off to Raffl. Raffl, a quick shot. It changed direction as it went wide. Stalock was leaning one way and it went the other. Manning trying to keep that in the zone. Flyers have all cleared anyhow, so Manning will just backhand it inside of the net. Stalock sets it up there. Wingles just 10 seconds remaining in the period. Hannon actually getting it to Couture off the stick of Nieto, deep into the Philadelphia zone. Mason will just leave it there. And that'll do it for period number 2. No scoring here in the second. As Messrs. Mason and Stalock had all the answers. So still 2-1 Sharks with now 40 minutes in the books. Today's Flyers Sharks second period was brought to you by Rothman Institute at Jefferson, exclusive orthopedic and healthcare provider of the Philadelphia Flyers. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. And by your local Chevy dealers. Intermission Live brought to you by Delaware Valley Honda Dealers is next. John Boric and Al Morganti analyze second period action after these messages. Pennsylvania Lottery. Powerball jackpot now has an estimated annuity of $40 million. Pennsylvania Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. Players must be 18 years or older. And by Honda. Honda Dream Garage Sales Event now at your Honda dealer. Set for the start of third period action at the Wells Fargo Center. Sharks lead 2-1 as they did after one. A GMC NHL update takes you to the nation's capital. The Washington Capitals and the Nashville Predators. Barry Trotz's new team with his old team. And it is a new team. Gets a shorthanded goal from Troy Brouwer. His second of the game to make it 3-2, but Nashville had the lead 3-2, and they would make it 4-2 as Mike Ribeiro taps that one home. He's having a great year for the Predators. Mike Green has scored for the Caps in the third period, though, to make it a one-goal game again. So it's 4-3 Nashville in third period action. About 6 minutes to go in that game down in Washington. Important game for the Caps, who have hit the skids a little bit of late. And also Nashville, they're trying to gain ground in the West.
And of note, Alex Ovechkin came into today's action 1 point behind Jake Voracek. Voracek has picked up an assist today, so is now in a tie for the lead in the NHL scoring race. Ovechkin has been held off the score sheet in that game so far.
So is Backstrom, who's also in the middle of the race. There's a wide open in front, Carlson, but he did not get good stick on that shot attempt. So the other way go the Flyers, and Reed will wind it into the San Jose zone. And that puck came out to center, back in offside. Let's look at the standings in the East. Capitals in that first wild card position with 90. Ottawa's made such a great run, but now you make that run, you get in, and all of a sudden you're the target, and they lose the game. And now Boston right there. Boston had a big lead on the Rangers at last check. They have a chance to hop past Ottawa. It'll be very interesting for those final positions. Flyers, but be all but mathematically eliminated if they lose this game, and Boston goes ahead and wins.
I thought Ottawa's schedule, though, was more favorable than the Bruins coming down the stretch in terms of strength of schedule.
There is a shot by Marleau, the save by Mason, and he scrambles to cover up. Out west, the Sharks have made the playoffs 10 consecutive seasons, but they are now, as you can see, 10 points back of the second wild card and 8 points back of third place in the Pacific. So they're basically in the same position the Flyers are in. It's going to take a miracle.
And there's no way for San Jose. So they were the darlings of the prognosticators for a few years, starting 7, 8 years ago. Nobody picked them before this season.
Yeah, I mean, there's that run. You just don't see many teams go double figures in consecutive years in the playoffs. Detroit is off the charts, and they've got to do some work before they secure their spot this year, but they're looking like they'll make it 24 straight, but the Sharks' run will come to an end, it appears, this year.
There's a whole lot of shaking that's going to take place in San Jose after their GM, Doug Wilson, in a town meeting, talked about their captain, Joe Thornton, or former captain, and why the C was taken away from him. Thornton fired back in the press saying Doug Wilson should shut his mouth. And now, for the first time in 10 years, San Jose is going to miss the playoffs. Todd McClellan, their head coach, is the third longest tenured coach in the NHL right now. And Joe Thornton has had an illustrious career, but things are going in the wrong direction for both Thornton and McClellan. So it'll be interesting to see who survives anywhere in the San Jose organization after this season.
Quite interesting. The Sharks had a 3-0 series lead against Los Angeles last year and lost, and were the fourth team to give up that lead as that shot from point goes wide. That's really where the downfall started. They decided to change the leadership group, as you mentioned, take the C and the letters away from Joe Thornton, Patrick Marleau, and I don't think they've ever recovered. So one team that Below was a 3-0 series lead. The next year, it seems to be falling apart. The Bruins had it happen to them, as we all know. The Flyers came back to beat them. The next year, they won the Stanley Cup. Well, it can go different ways. There's Jake Voracek. Sidestepping a check. Controlling the puck. Around behind. Centers it for Couturier, and he could not hang on. Couturier fires it back out in front. Voracek will get to it and fling toward the net. Pop a body to Couturier, who turns and from his knees got up a weak shot that was sticked aside by Stalock. And the puck is cleared out to center ice. Jake Voracek again. Some great setups there. And Eovaldi. And that one go in on goal off of a sharp. Stalock had to be alert. And now Brent Burns. Ahead. Wingels. Wingels lets fly. Batted away by Mason. Wingels trying to fight off the checking of Manning. Flyers get to it. Belmar, a stutter step move. He's checked by Nieto. Got some help from Braden Chen, who cleared the zone. Lecavalier over to get to it for Philadelphia. Flyers with only 14 shots on goal. 2.5 minutes into the third period.
And Craig Berube has reshuffled the forward line combos.
Belmar getting the puck to Shen, who goes cross ice. Alt lays it off the wall, just dumps it around behind the net. Still, I got to go off his stick. Lecavalier back out toward Alt. Alt with a shot wide. You'd love to get a point. You want a goal in your first NHL game. But Alt missing the target there. Nick Cousins comes out. There's Ryan White and Ronaldo. So this line is together. Have we seen Claude Giroux yet? They're in the third period. Lauritsen rolls that puck in. Stalock will get it to Irwin. Irwin, right out in front of his own net, but the Sharks able to recover and clear. And this will be icing against San Jose. Or there's Giroux, and he jumps over the board, so he is obviously okay.
Here's some of Jake Voracek's work on that first shift that he had out there with Couturier and Van de Velde.
Yeah, that was a great shift by Voracek. Just controlled the puck, the tempo of the play in the San Jose zone. He has been excellent here this afternoon.
Giroux will take this draw and win it. Lauritsen across. Alt wristing one. It goes off the skate to Voracek. Voracek dealing with it. Gets those legs moving. Dishes to Alt. Alt the wrister. Oh, the save. It went wide off of Stalock or something in front. Now Raffl trying to center, but that's gobbled up by Braun. And he will clear the zone. And then Scott will send it in on Mason from center ice. Voracek's back to get it. With it. Knocks it off to Schultz. Across to Lauritsen. Great Dane will off the Frenchman's skill. I believe it was Voracek back into the Philadelphia zone. Lauritsen has it again. And he's tied up with Pavelski. Knockdown is clear. Second try, he'll just clear it off a stick to the neutral zone. Brent Burns has it back. Burns has had 6 shots blocked in this game.
4 on and 1 wide. Only 11.
Here's Couturier, nice play. He got it to himself and now into the corner with it. Couturier looking back. Defensemen are changing. So the puck will drift out to the neutral zone. Delzato has it there. Spins, gets it to Couturier. He's trying to get it back to Delzato, but the Sharks would have none of that. Tomas Hertl has it. 21-year-old who burst upon the scene last year, but finally going a little bit more difficult in his second NHL season. Sharks move up. Marleau trying to center. That goes off of Manning. Tour over skates. Marleau gets it back. To the point it goes. Dillon across for Braun. Sends it wide of the net. Bounces side of the gate. Mason kept it from going out in front. Now Hertl a shot. Save Mason. Rebound Couture. And Mason getting across to make the save. Very difficult stop in traffic there. Reed did not get past Braun. Delzato will fling in. Lecavalier did not get to that puck as Dillon was there. Now Braun moves it to center. Grossman handles it. It's about a 2-1 advantage now for the Sharks in shots. It is a 2-1 advantage in goals. Tierney. Nieto. Moving in to the backhand. The shot saved. Rebound. He poked it wide behind the net. Now Dillon got it as far as Grossman. Grossman Backhanding it ahead, hoping for and getting LeCavalier. LeCavalier moving up. Dillon comes back to get a hold of him. LeCavallier's pad for Vanderbilt, and he couldn't get a clean shot off as he was being checked by Tierney. Now Tierney winds up with the puck, and it's cleared in by Wingman. Nick Schultz back for the Flyers as we pass the 6-minute mark of this third period. Schultz all the way out. Blue Couturier, and that'll make this icing. So we'll give you the answer to today's Jeep trivia question. Shark Tank, of course, is the Sharks' home right now, and they actually began 1 year playing in the Cow Palace. Actually, from 91 through 93, they played in the Cow Palace. I don't even know if there is a Shark Center. That might have just been a made-up arena.
You made that up, didn't you?
No, I don't make up these answers. Somebody else
made that part up.
They said it was a great building. There may be some museum or something, the Shark Center somewhere.
Now, if you knew,
I don't think they play hockey there.
If you knew why it was called the Cow Palace, then you'd be showing me something.
We've got to go to break. 2-1 Sharks.
But it's time now to take a look at the Hyundai save of the game. And just moments ago, Steve Mason with a little flurry of Sharks in front of the net. A quick shot is taken. Look at the effort. Mason getting across, making a great stop on Logan Couture. Just fights for that body position ahead of Brandon Manning. Mason throws the pad out for the Hyundai save of the game. And it's a good one.
As a casting director might say, he's got great legs.
You're right.
There's Pavelski looking for that lead pass. Manning comes back. Flyers break it up. Couturier cannot quite get that out to center. Went offhanded into the Philadelphia bench.
Well, the biggest Flyers fans are season ticket members. So become one today and lock in your seat to enjoy an interest-free payment plan through February of 2016. Just call 215-218-PUCK. Get in on next season's action.
Lots of kids here. Kids Day. Wells Fargo Center. Somewhat ironic that a whole bunch of kids called up for the High Valley Phantoms to play the game. Pavelski's shot there is snared by Mason. The real reason, injuries and illness, in case you're joining us late. You may have known that Wayne Simmons and Andrew McDonald are lost for the rest of the season. Injuries occurred in the game against Chicago, but Flyers woke up today without the services of Goliakovo and Streit on the blue line, as they are both out with the flu. Giroux probably playing, what we're told, with the flu a little bit, maybe others. And so, some reinforcements called up from Lehigh Valley, getting a chance to play in the NHL. Galt, Overlords. Brandon Manning was already here after the injury to McDonald.
Jason Atkinson is here, but he didn't suit up. Claude Giroux was a question mark, but Claude Giroux is in the lineup, so Jason Atkinson will actually head back up to Allentown to play for the Phantoms tonight against the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Davy Penguins.
Here's Couturier. Atkinson could say he had an NHL and an AHL uniform on the same day because he did partake in the pregame skate. Arm is up. Dave Jackson out in center ice has spotted a hooking penalty. And so the Flyers will get a power play here and a chance to tie the game with their second man advantage of the contest.
This is Brent Burns, I think they pointed to, and he's kind of looks puzzled. He's heading off. I'm not sure if it's Hannon's heading over now, so a hooking call nonetheless, and the Flyers are going to get themselves a chance to go on the power play.
Scott Hannon is claiming that one of the Flyers had a hold of his stick. There's Hannon. Boy, I don't know how he could make that argument. His stick was parallel to the ice and right in the waist, so.
Yeah, you're right, Bill. There's nothing to argue there.
So, big chance here for the Flyers. McDonald's power play payoff contestant. Giroux across, forecheck in front, and one couldn't finish. Oh, it did not go. Delzato to Giroux. Giroux holding on. Side of the net. White back out Giroux. To the point, Delzato. Big blast is blocked and ends up into the safety netting. Jake Voracek has had so many chances for points here this afternoon.
That would have been point number 4 if the 3 other ones after his first assist had gone in, and that one came to Ryan White.
You know what? Jake Voracek's so good, guys. He actually comes in on anticipation that something may go wrong, and he had a second swap at that puck. That's unbelievable.
I think he tried to bank the second chance in, and that just skittered wide.
Most guys wouldn't follow it up. What a play.
Here's Giroux. Pivoting, taken down by Pavelski. The puck stays in as Shen. We'll get it back to Giroux. Jammed around by White. Voracek races in from the point. Deflects it free, but it bounces to Pavelski, who sends it all the way down. The Flyers will come back to get the puck. Keep the number 1 unit out on the ice as Lozado moves it to Voracek. Voracek to Shen. Hand off to Giroux and gives to Delzato across Voracek. Right back to Delzato, and now Giroux. Couldn't load it up, now Delzato. Voracek waiting in front. Deflected wide by Shen. Just trying to dig it free along the board. Giroux does. Back out Delzato. To Giroux. Forced, but hangs on. Giroux getting a little more space. Gives it to Shen, but his shot goes wide. White. Back to Giroux. And now it's Delzato. Cross ice Voracek. Finding Giroux. Giroux the shot. He scores! Voracek with the assist. He's the NHL scoring leader. And the Flyers tie the game at 2 as they score for a case of Tasty Cake. Giroux, his first ever 4-game goal streak.
Well, it would have been just wrong if the Flyers didn't get something on this power play as pressure filled as it's been. Everything but the back of the net until this shot from Claude Giroux.
That's Ryan White. That hit Ryan White's stick going in.
Stick or pad?
Pad or stick, but it hit Ryan White.
It will still mean an assist to Jake Voracek.
Absolutely. Great shot by Giroux, though. Short side, Ryan White position. Exactly where Wayne Simmons would be. Great way to cap off a power play that stayed in that zone the whole time.
Ryan White's reaction was the only thing that didn't lead me to believe he touched the puck, and they are giving the goal to Giroux. So right now it stands as Giroux's goal, and it's a 4-game goal streak, which is the first time Claude Giroux has had a 4-game goal streak. It did appear to change direction, but it might have hit Stalock. And we'll get another look or two, I'm sure. Reed back out, Manning, his shot is blocked. Voracek gets an assist either way. And he is now atop the leaderboard. There's Ryan White looking for the puck. White skates it up. Taken to the ice. Taken down by Nieta. And the Sharks have it back. They get it back. It's stolen by Ronaldo, but then recovered by San Jose. Tommy Wingles to the Philadelphia line. Over down low. Schultz up the wall. That goes to Hannon for a shot. Save Mason. That puck skipping on its way in. Mason able to corral it.
Well, let's take a look at our power back rehabilitation comeback goal. Just a couple minutes ago here. Good pass by Delzato. Back to Giroux short side. And a great screen there by Ryan White, taking the eyes of Stalock away. That's a power back rehabilitation comeback goal.
So Claude Giroux, 5 goals in his last 4 games after having none in his previous 10. Figure it out.
In that kind of season for most of the guys that are at the top of the scoring race, and Claude Giroux is a top 10 guy coming in to today's action. He picks up a little bit of ground too.
Picked up his first even strength goal at home in the win over Chicago. This one is a power play foul. Saw Scott Hannon talking with Dave Jackson after the puck had gone in. He wasn't disputing the goal, he was disputing the penalty call still. Sharks get the puck. Here a shot. Mason the save off of Barclay Goodrow. We'll hang on. We'll be back.
John, time to take a look now at the Toyota turning point of this hockey game, and it was the captain delivering to one San Jose at this time, and a quick shot right off the side of Stalock, provided with a great screen right there by Braden Shannon, Ryan White, and that got the game tied to Toyota turning point.
Sidney Crosby has picked up an assist, so Jake's in the tie again atop the scoring race. 2 points ahead of Tavares, 3 ahead of Ovechkin, 4 ahead of Baxter.
And after today, Sidney Crosby will have one extra game to play than Jake Voracek has.
Also tumbles to the ice. Giroux pokes the puck free. There's Manning ahead. No icing here. Ron will tip to Hannon. Couture had to hurdle. Hurdle off the stick of Marlowe, but gathered by Manning. Quickly ahead to Raffle. And he'll play it in. Voracek hunting the puck down. He's got a lot of white jerseys to deal with. The Sharks will maneuver up with it. Hurdle. Pass intercepted by Reed. Reed all the way across. It's Couturier. The Flyers will take it all the way back behind their own net. 9 minutes remaining in the third. Delzato ahead. Couturier, lots of ice to work with. Then across the line. Got a drop pass that's intercepted. And the Sharks have a potential 2-on-1, but cutting over, and a good read there was Schultz to sweep it away from them. And Burns to the puck. Ahead. Looking for Thornton. We'll drop it back, and the Sharks now bank the puck and move it ahead to Pavelski. Pavelski, another step. Oh, quick shot save. Mason that handcuffed him. Pavelski got it back, got it in front. Ricochets in on Mason, and he hangs on. Boy, Joe Pavelski, boy, so tricky around the net.
Sneaky. Hey, the Flyers take on the Pittsburgh Penguins twice next week, including at home next Sunday afternoon. Game time is 12:30. You can reserve your tickets now at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. You want to see who wins the scoring race? You might be able to witness it when Sidney Crosby is in town taking on Jake Voracek and the Flyers.
That's right. They play in Pittsburgh Wednesday and then back here on Easter Sunday. So the Art Ross race impacted by those games in a big way.
And the Flyers are going to have, Jake should have a good final week too with a lot of home games on the docket. So that's going to help him.
Grossman after this puck. Give it away to Chris Tierney. He has two Sharks around him. He got it to Manning. Off the a huge hit on Belmar by Wingles after Belmar made a nice touch pass. Got the puck to Mandeville. Side Eagle will try, save Stalock. Belmar pops right back up and then goes after Tierney and buries him with a check.
But Brandon Manning went right over the Wingles and challenged him after the hit on Belmar.
That's definitely part of Manning's makeup. Belmar popped
after him all game too.
Yeah. Now John Scott comes out all 6'8", 260 to whack Manning. Manning's stick is broken now.
Mason the save there. Play stopped. Scott has words with Ryan White, but nothing more.
Well, when you go to the silos, if you want to go nuclear, there's the guy you want. No wonder John Scott steps in to try to do what he does. That's the hit Wingles on Belmar after the puck was all the way across the other side of the ice.
Yeah, Giroux was down there having words with some of the San Jose guys. That hit was way too late.
Way late.
Way too late.
There have been a couple of those. Ronaldo had one earlier going the other direction that was way after the player got rid of the puck. There was emphasis on that for a while, but it seems to have eased a little bit. There is Ronaldo chipping it in. Burns there's a zip into him. Cousins in after with a hit on Hannon, who goes down in a heap.
No penalty here, I don't believe.
Cousins with a hit, and Hannon went down. Now you got to get together with John Scott on the ice. You're always going to have this.
Guess
Ian Lawrence, and there you go. You got 6'8" and 6'6" there. The two big guys towering over the officials and everyone else.
No trouble IDing them.
No. That's a couple large human beings out there.
Hannon being tended to by the training staff. And as you said, the arm did not go up, did not appear to be a penalty.
There you go. What's that?
It's a shot on White. John Scott, who, by the way, gets suspended 2 or 3 times a year on average, and really, you know, he doesn't do a whole lot for the team other than this kind of stuff as Hannon is cut. And there are fewer and fewer of the likes of John Scott in the NHL anymore. It's been really a pattern you've seen, the last couple of years.
I think that they went out guys after the LA series last year, and that was a move they made to get a little bit tougher. And they got a lot tougher with Scott.
Hannon goes off. He was cut. Lawrence into the box. Scott would assume to follow, although he's not. Scott's going off to the bench.
Well, there was the hit, which was actually a non-hit. It was kind of incidental contact. It's almost as if when Cousins turned, his back sort of bumped Hannon. There was no elbow. There was really no shoulder even. Well, there was a bit of an elbow.
Yep, there was. An elbow, yeah.
Yep.
But Cousins didn't go in there saying, I'm going to elbow Scott Hannon. I mean, he went in to try to finish his check. The elbow got up a little bit. I'm just trying to figure out why Lauritsen's in here alone.
So are we, I think. Scott came with the left jab, too, right to the jaw of Ryan White in the middle of the scrum. Somehow 4 sets of eyes didn't see that. But obviously another set of eyes besides the 2 guys wearing the red stripes on their armbands. The 2 refs missed it. There was no arm that went up on that original hit.
All right, now Scott is being informed he also has gotten a penalty. He's not very happy about it. In fact, he's really unhappy about it. When he snaps, it can get very ugly.
Boy, he's threatening, pointing at the refs and threatening. Are you kidding me?
10-minute misconduct is what we're being told.
Look, now he won't leave. He's got to get back at the ref here.
I think he should just be happy he's even in this game to begin with. And off he goes.
Well, where's the unsportsmanlike to go with the 10? I mean, is there no minor that offsets the Lauritsen penalty? Is my question.
Don't believe so. I think we're being told 10-minute misconducts on each. Todd McClellan doesn't like the call. I think he wants a penalty on the original hit.
So there was no minor to Lauritsen then?
No minor, just
there you go.
10-minute misconduct. Nothing on the board in terms of effect to manpower.
A lot of the chatter down here. It's the Flyers are letting the San Jose guys know that you lost your loaded gun. It's back in the locker room. So make sure you know what you're doing when you go after guys now with these hits. John Scott back in the locker room.
2-2 game, and the face-off out into center is McClellan trying to exhort the troops now. He thought that should have been a penalty on the Cousins hit. I believe that's his right.
You know what? Nick Cousins was turning away, and I know I'm sorry Scott Hannon got cut, but I think the non-call was the right call there.
Well, any hit to the head now is illegal, so I can understand the Sharks' point of view as well. I understand what you're saying as well, but I think it could have gone either way. There's a shot that batted wide out the other side. I think as a coach, he's sticking up for his player too, who's been cut.
Yeah,
I believe the ice
I get that.
Reed in, cuts to the middle, drops it back. Ostman hustles to keep it in the zone. It's to Couturier. Couturier, hang on, and move around and then centered it, but the Sharks get to that and clear the zone. Carlson will bounce one all the way down the ice, wide of Mason, but no icing. Grossman is back to play. Sharks have outshot the Flyers 36-16, but this is tied where it matters. 2-2. Tipped in by Raffl. Stalock is going to cover up. 6:26 to go in a face-off in the Shark zone.
Alex Stalock has not been a busy goaltender for the Sharks in this one, and there have been so many little squeaky, bouncy plays around him that could have gotten behind him that haven't. We're in a 2-2 tie. Steve Mason has by far been the busier of the 2 goalies.
Delzato to Giroux down low for Raffl. He's tipped away and cleared. Schultz has to get on his horse here. They wave off the icing. Not sure why. Schultz pays for it. He got buried on that hit by Hertl. Flyers nearly turn it over, but it's poked out to center ice by Delzato. Burns right back into the Philadelphia zone. Marleau, the Couture for a shot, and the save made by Mason. And he covers again. Flyers are off until Wednesday. They'll be in Pittsburgh where they play some great hockey. It's the Flyers and Penguins, Voracek and Crosby right atop the leaderboard in points of the NHL. Crosby has just scored a goal, so he now has 3 points in the game today, I'm being told. So I guess he's 2 ahead of Voracek. We'll have to do the math for you. But either way, Flyers and Penguins 8 o'clock on Wednesday. Rivalry night on NBCSN. The centering pass from Wingels knocked down by Lecavalier. Now Grossman head off the stick of Belmar. Now it's played ahead and out to center. There's Tierney for Wingels. Wingels holds and fires. Mason save, couldn't control the rebound. And behind the net, the puck bounces out in front as the couldn't control it. The Flyers did not clear. Braun takes a hit. Got the puck to Tierney, who centered off the stick. Back out Pavelski across to Dillon. Dillon's wrist blocked by Vandenvelde, who could not clear. Grossman holding it on and on to the other side of the ice. Belmar is there. And he will make it out and find Vandenvelde moving up. Vandenvelde chips it in. Disrupted by Burns. Flyers need a change. Less than 5 minutes to play in regulation. Pavelski knocks down that puck in center. Schultz back to get to it. Right off the glass and skips back out to the point. Kept in by San Jose. Thornton. Carlson, but he's checked by Schultz. And now it's Voracek. Jake Voracek. Lights up a check. He got hit. Thornton nailed him. That's a penalty. Hopefully Jake's all right because that had Charlie was written all over it. He stays out there. His read. His shot goes wide. Delayed call against the Sharks. They play the puck. The Flyers to the power play with a chance to take the lead when we come back. Today's Flyers-Sharks game is brought to you by Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far. By Toyota. Toyota's One for Everyone sales event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. And by Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. Sharks Flyers tied at 2. Archie and Bernie over there, and here are the top shelf performers from this game. Pavelski is 36 for the Sharks. Irwin got their goal scoring started, and Couture has an assist on his birthday. Giroux and Voracek have been a big part of it for the Flyers, and they hope to be again as the Flyers go to the power play here. Morton off for tripping. Zotto across to Voracek. Zotto now to Giroux. Back to Del Zotto. And now it's Giroux waiting. And back to Del Zotto for a shot. Deflection save. Rebound! Oh, it hopped away from Voracek. He'll get to it. Set it back up. Goes to Del Zotto and now Voracek. The hash mark gives to White. White right back to Giroux and now out to the point Del Zotto. Quickly to Voracek. Quick shot. And it actually hit White in front. White out of the puck. Gets it back out, Del Zotto. Del Zotto the shot. Saves down. Rebound batted by White, but it went to the corner. Dillon clears. Zotto will get it back. Flyers try to get right back in the zone. White getting out of the zone. Schenn on the wall to Giroux, but he had 3 Sharks there, and Braun is able to clear. Zotto is back. It's to Schenn, but Schenn is checked by Couture. Sharks have it back with the Flyers in the middle, changing from their first to second unit on the power play. Mason knocks it off for Del Zotto. Now to 38 seconds on the power play, less than 3 minutes in the third period. Flyers finally finishing up that change. Here's Couturier. Pass for Reed, and it's offside at the San Jose line. Face-off. Back out into center ice.
So not nearly as many scoring opportunities on this power play as the Flyers had on the last one when Claude Giroux scored. 27 seconds left. They're going to have to make something happen quickly because it's outside of the zone. Really tough to get any momentum, any skating momentum to gain penetration of the zone when the face-off's in the neutral. So you got to dump it in the way the Flyers just did there and then try to retrieve. And it's hard.
Have to get it back out in center now. In fact, Couturier takes it all the way back into the zone, and Manning starts up. Final 10 seconds of the power play. Cavalier winding it in. Burns and Couturier after it. Bounces free. Reed behind the net. Laughlin there trying to keep it alive. Reed knocked down, and Burns got the puck. That was pretty close to a penalty too. Now Nieto moving it up to Thornton. Thornton dropping it off. Here's Dillon, a shot, save! Mason through some traffic and he pins it against the shoulder.
Almost 40 shots for San Jose. I will say this, the Flyers have done a good job, especially in the third period, of keeping the shots to the outside like this, or 45-degree angles for a guy like Steve Mason and his big body in there. And that went off Nick Schultz, I think, off his back. And Schultz was doing his best to not take a penalty and tie his guy up in front.
I think they were tied up, and then Nieto saw the situation as Thornton gets the puck here and said, hey, I'm going to hold you so you can't block the shot. So who was holding who? We don't know.
Time.
There you go. 17-6 advantage for the Sharks in shots here in the third. 39-18 for the game. Here's Braun with a shot. Deflected and went wide. Voracek to the puck, but the Sharks quickly to him, and they take it away. Then Pavelski lost it in his skate. Vandervelde was approaching. Double shifting Jake Voracek as he's out with Vandervelde and Giroux. Giroux also out for another shift. And pass in the middle. Ralph had been out of the second power play, so Vandervelde getting a shift with Giroux and Voracek. The puck high in the air and it glances off the safety netting, bringing about the whistle.
Well, today's Bud Light player of the game. The guy who's batted a few times this year, Jake Voracek, with a pair of assists on the day. He gets the party started here early. Michael Raffl on the doorstep, and then again later on a nice pass to Giroux, who scores through a maze of bodies. And Jake, again, up at the top of the standings, the NHL scoring board, and there he is, the Bud Light player of the game once again.
Well, near the top.
Yeah.
Keep track of that Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, I know. It was 1-1 about 10 minutes ago. Now it's 3-1, so things change.
Got it handed all three of the Penguins goals to jump back on top. Here's Couturier trying to center. Punches to Reed, and now Grossman. Backing along for Couturier. Away from Dillon. Left it along the boards. Reed hustles over to try to keep it alive. And in the final minute of regulation time. Lecavalier. Fires the corner, but the Sharks have it back, and Burns starts back. Couturier knocked it down. Reed picks up the puck. Matt Reed pivoting, turning, looking for a shooting lane, and then has it taken away as he was ridden to the boards. Couturier gets it back to Del Zotto. Del Zotto for Reed. Reed taking a look. But his pass for Lecavalier tipped away, and the Sharks start back. Nieto, who had the late regulation goal to beat the Flyers in San Jose, is out there again. 23 seconds remaining in the third. Here's Voracek. Jake Voracek, 1-on-3. Weaves inside, then outside, then lost the puck. And the Sharks start back. It's Irwin to Nieto. To the left wing, and that's lost by Tierney. Schultz, check. Nieto has it to Braun for the shot. Wide. Bounces behind the net. They try to chop it in front. Now, Tierney centers, but it'll roll out to center. And this one will go to overtime. And for the 25th time this year, the Flyers will play more than 60 minutes of hockey. That is a new franchise record since ties were done away with. 2-2 through 3. Back with overtime in a moment. Well, let's see how we got to this point. 2-2 game.
Yeah, the Sharks scored first in the first. The Flyers have done so many times this season, they kept on battling. Michael Raffl not just 20th. Jake Voracek with an assist on that one. Steve Mason, a going concern and a lot of pucks that he stopped, but that one squeaked through, and after a review, San Jose took a 2-1 lead until the third period and another Flyers power play, and the captain coming through. Headed to overtime.
Certainly nothing new for the Flyers. 25 times now they've gone to overtime, most in their history. Jake Voracek has a couple of overtime game-winner goals for the Flyers. The Flyers are 5-7 in games determined in the overtime. They've lost their last 5. And the Sharks are 2-3 in games decided during the 5-minute overtime. Each team with a point, another point up for grabs. Voracek wipes out, but dropped the puck back. There are those records. And who can handle that pass? And Irwin has it back. Moving ahead to Couture. Through center ice. All the way in. The shot. Save Mason. Puck sat there for a moment. Giroux then tried to send Voracek out the center, but misfired in the pass, and Irwin has it back. Couture. He'll drop it off. Here's Braun. Taking up speed. Through center. Braun in. Around out the other side. And now he'll play it out. And Thornton. Thornton marked by Couturier. Gets past him center. Blocked off by Del Zotto. Voracek has it back. Voracek with a pass to Schultz. Schultz from center will send it in. Deflects. There's Burns. Burns rounding it off to Brendan Dillon ahead. Lou Thornton all the way down, but no icing. Mason will get it to Grossman. Grossman on the money to Reed. Flyers move up with speed. Reed to Manning. Manning holding on. Drops it off. Couturier. Couturier all the way around. Out the other side. Centered for Reed, but he was tied up by Dillon. Grossman down low for Reed. Reed back out Couturier. Couturier had a shot blocked. Reed into the corner. Dillon seals him off. Into Dillon, the former Dallas Star defenseman. Swerves onto the neutral zone. Gains the line. Give him some room. Takes the shot. Stick save Mason. Tierney gets to the rebound. Tierney hands off. Irwin around behind. Out the other side. To the point it goes. Braun a shot. Batted down in front. Back out. Braun has it again. Justin Braun. Gets it behind the Philadelphia net. He's checked by Delzato. The Flyers get it back, and it goes to the other side of the ice. Braden Shen and Tierney. They eliminate each other as they both go to the ice, and the Flyers get it back. Already approaching the midpoint of this overtime. Flyers are making changes. Here's the outlet off the bench. Handle the puck. Couturier gets it to Shen. Shen trying to maneuver around Irwin. Could not. He finishes Irwin off, and that's going to be a penalty. Braden Shen thinks that Irwin embellished. But the call is made, and the Flyers will be shorthanded exactly halfway through the overtime.
Braden Shen's calling him out for diving now. Here was the play.
Yeah, I think he'll be heading to the awards banquet for this one. It's a little push, and he went all the way down. It wasn't a hit, it was a push as he went in to get it. But he did sell it, make sure the ref had a pretty easy decision.
Well, there's enough time on the clock for San Jose to execute the entire 2 minutes of this power play.
Look and listen to this.
So you have to wonder if it was the hit or the cry of distress and pain that got that call.
So the 4-on-3 power play, and here is Thornton. Holding on. Out to Pavelski and now Burns. Down they go with it. Thornton has it again. Now they're looking for Couture. Back out to Thornton. Very patient are the Sharks here. Couture. To Burns. The big blast is blocked by Belmar, who could not clear. Could not clear it. Here's Thornton. The pass blocked in front by Schultz. Loose puck. Belmar couldn't get his stick free to clear it. Here's Burns. To Pavelski for the shot. I'm not sure if Mason got a piece. I believe he did. And then it bounces out of play. Pavelski had the game on his stick. Could not finish it.
One of the things that's underrated about Pavelski is his shot. How quick it is and how heavy it is. But Steve Mason got enough.
Brent Burns kind of fooled everybody with that little fake pump towards the net, and a great pass over.
Loose puck right in the slot. Couturier, chance to clear. Outnumbered along the boards. Got it to the line, but not out. Now Grossman and Wingels after. Wingels grabs a hold of Grossman. Grossman then locks him up as well. The puck back out to Irwin. He's okay. Marlowe to the puck. At the center, it bounces to Couturier. He hits Irwin with a clear, but a second try. Couturier sends it the length of the ice. 52 seconds remain in the power play. 1:20 in the overtime. Flyers trying to change. Here's Marlowe moving up. Up with Marlowe. Center! Diving try by Pavelski. Stopped by Mason. Pavelski slid into Mason. Mason just now getting back up as the puck goes back out. Burns holding on. Looking for a seam and then dealing. Back to Burns for a shot. And that one goes wide. Thornton gets to it again. Thornton holding on, waiting. His pass blocked by Schultz. Bounces out to Burns. 20 seconds in the power play. Burns down low, Pavelski. Pavelski back out, Burns. Holding on, back to Pavelski. Couldn't load it up and then lost it. And then takes down Vandevelde. No call there, and Belmar will move up. Belmar then back to Vandenbelly. Vandenbelly with a shot blocked. Burns then turns it over to Belmar. He's tired, but Belmar will take the shot, and it's blocked. 27 seconds remain in the overtime. Flyers are back to full strength. Thornton tips to Couture. Couture stripped by Voracek, but now Thornton picks it up. Thornton drop pass for Dillon. Dillon plays it back to the other side of the ice. It's Thornton. Thornton chipping it across ice for Braun. Braun bodied by Voracek. Puck sitting along the board. Thornton and Grossman come together. 6 seconds. Puck comes free. Dillon, a shot. Save. Mason. Rebound. Sitting there. Bounces free. Backhanded wide by Couture. And the overtime comes to an end. Couture got himself a birthday present. The puck on his stick in front of a pretty empty cage. He could not finish it off. And so we have a shootout.
What a finish. The Sharks all over the Flyers. Steve Mason with a shoulder save and lost sight of it. And by a couple of inches, Logan Couture had time left, about a second and a half, and couldn't put it away.
I don't think anybody was going to stop this one either here. Billy Mason's made some brilliant saves this year, but Couture working with an empty net, he just missed it. You can see Mason's gloves far enough out of the way. If it goes upstairs where that puck was in the same trajectory, the Flyers would have had no chance. You called it right, Jimmy, a birthday gift.
They didn't blow out the candles. And as a result, we have a shootout. Stalock in shootouts this year 0 for 1. He stopped 3 of 5 shots. Steve Mason has been involved in a lot of shootouts this year. He stopped 19 of 32 shots, 2 and 6. Record. Flyers 3 and 9 this year in shootouts. Sharks 3 and 5. Jake Voracek will shoot first. He's been successful 40% of the time this year, 4 for 10. And in he goes. He scores! Patience pays off as Voracek waited as long as he could and found the net.
What a great play by Voracek. And you're right, he just held it as long as he could, didn't panic. Stalock lost that one little section mid-area right there. It's a great goal by Voracek.
Logan Couture could have ended the game moments ago. Now he gets a chance to participate in the shootout. He's 3 for 6 this year. Up the post. And the Flyers have a 1-0 lead through round 1.
Steve Mason made himself awfully big. Look at him outside of the paint. Couture decided to go to the quick forehand off Mason and off the post.
So now is Giroux. For his career, outstanding, 36%, but only 1 for 10 this year. The captain trying to give his team a 2-goal lead. Blasts a shot. Don't see that very often, and Stalock was there.
Old school move right there by Claude Giroux. And, you know, I think what happens is the goalie anticipates what he's going to do, and Giroux said, I'm going to change it up big time and fire away. And Stalock's good. Tall to the task, makes a good start.
Joe Pavelski is also good in shootouts. We've been talking about his many great attributes in this game. 2 for 8 this year. Takes his time. Save, Mason. And the Flyers have the lead through round 2.
Boy, Steve Mason has just been patient and big in the net. And there's not much to shoot at.
Matt Reed can finish it off. He's 0 for 4 this year. Delivered in. The shot is Stalock to save. The Sharks are still alive.
Good try by Matt Reed. Comes down, tries to get him with the 5-hole. Stalock to squeeze the pads last second.
So Melker Karlsson is 1 for 2 this year. And in his career, as he is a rookie, tries to prolong the game. And he does. He beats Mason. We'll move to some extra rounds.
Well, Karlsson had an idea what he wanted to do before he came in. Steve Mason looked like he was getting ready to go down to the butterfly, and while he flinched, Karlsson scored.
Couturier 1 for 7 this year. And he's stopped by Stalock.
Coots came down and he one move in mind. That was going to the backhand, and Stalock stayed with it and made a good stop on it.
Now the long time Shark, Patrick Marleau, can end it. Give his team the victory. He's 1 for 5 this season. save, Mason. We play on.
So the Sharks all electing to shoot and not to deke, and Steve Mason dropped his left shoulder but kept his blocker in the right spot.
Vinny Lecavalier with a chance to put the Flyers back on top. He's 0 for 3 this year. By the right wing and cut on in. Couldn't tuck it home.
It's a great try by Vinny, though. You know, come down, and he hasn't been in the lineup in a while. Gets an opportunity here in the shootout, and he leaves that puck where he wants it. He had a lot of stick left to try to tap that in the backhand, just couldn't get it.
Now the forward turned defenseman, Brent Burns. 1 for 4 this year. He scores, and the Sharks win the game. San Jose Sharks make it 7 consecutive wins here in the city of Philadelphia as they win the shootout. 2-1, they win the hockey game by a final score of 3-2.
Well, Brent Burns was showing off some of the moves that he had, at least this one, when he was a forward. But you see how he froze Steve Mason by twitching and faking the shot. And then when he pulled it to the backhand, he went roof. This is just about perfect execution by Brent Burns.
So the Flyers' struggles against teams not in playoff position continue. They haven't won one since the middle of February. They lose this one in a shootout. Flyers will be back in action on Wednesday. They'll take on a team very much in the playoff picture, the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Battle of Pennsylvania. Hockey doesn't get much better. These two teams meet. You can see that one on NBCSN at 8 o'clock. We're next with you on Saturday, the Hurricanes and the Flyers. Another matinee. Saturday afternoon, this one from Raleigh. Our coverage on Comcast Sportsnet beginning at 1 o'clock. Kids Day. Wells Fargo Center. Some kids in the Flyers organization got their chance to play in the NHL here today. Flyers come up just a bit short, losing 3-2 in a shootout. The producer for Flyers Hockey is Brian Cooper. The associate producer, birthday boy, Carl Graver, and our director, Mike Mulligan. For Bill Clement and Chris Terry, and I'm Jim Jackson. Once again, the final score in a shootout, the Sharks 3 and the Flyers 2. Stay tuned. The Flyers post-game live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance.